Okay, so this is section 4 on the guide to BOI reporting. This section we're going to talk about company applicants. So if you remember, a BOI report is made up of 3 sections. Number 1 is a section about the reporting company. Number 2 is a section about the reporting company's beneficial owners. Okay, and then number 3 is the reporting company's company applicants. Okay. This doesn't apply to every reporting company, okay? But we're going to go through it just to make sure that we're comprehensive and we're being complete with this. So, who does this apply to? Okay, it applies to reporting companies whose registration, or basically the date that the company was legally created, whatever date that the Secretary of State stamped it and said, yes, this is a legal entity. If that date was on or after January 1st of 2024, you are required to report on your company applicants. If your company was formed prior or before January 1st, 2024, okay, you are not required to report on its company applicants. Okay, so if your company was formed on or after January 1st, 2024, stay on. You need to listen to this. If your company was formed prior to January 1st, 2024, you can stop this right now, go to the next section. You are not required to report on your company applicants. Okay. Okay, so who is a company applicant? Okay, a company applicant is basically the person who filed or who had control over the filing action of actually creating the company. Okay, so when a company is created at the state level, okay, there is paperwork. There's there's information that is submitted to the Secretary of State or similar office or Indian tribe or wherever that company is set up, okay, or registered to be set up, okay. It's basically a company applicant is the person who either filed the documentation, or in some situations it's somebody who directs or controls the filing of setting up and forming that legal entities. Most of the time, we're reporting on somebody who is a direct filer. And so this is the individual, okay? A company applicant is an individual, okay? Cannot be another company or a legal entity. This is the individual who directly filed the document that created a domestic reporting company, or the individual who directly filed the document that first registered a foreign reporting company. Okay, so again, if a company was formed outside of the United States of America and it was registered, to do business in a certain state, the person that actually filed that document for that foreign reporting company to be registered to do business in that particular state, that person needs to be included. Or again, the person who filed the document that created a domestic reporting company. Okay, most of the time, what we see is, especially with smaller companies, okay, one of the beneficial owners is the same person as the company applicant, okay? But sometimes it's somebody different. Sometimes people have an attorney, an accountant, or somebody else that actually files the documentation to form a company, okay? But those are usually the people who it is, okay? Or if someone directs or controls the filing action, so somebody who's primarily responsible for directing or controlling the filing of the creation or first registration of the company, that person even though they didn't actually file the document with the Secretary of State, this person is still a company applicant. And so a lot of times you'll see an attorney who uses like a paralegal that actually files the document with the Secretary of State. Even though the paralegal was the one who filed the document with the Secretary of the State, it was still the attorney who directed the filing action. And so both of those people, both of those individuals would be considered to be company applicants. Okay. So again, this is only about forming the company. Okay. And again, this only applies to companies who were set up on or after January 1st of 2024. If your company was formed prior to January 1st of 2024, this does not apply to you. You do not have to report on your company applicants. Okay, so this is a flow chart. Okay, was the reporting company created or registered on or after January 1st of 2024? If that answer is no, you do not need to identify your company applicants. If the answer is yes, okay, first identify the individual who directly filed the creation or first registration document for the reporting company with the Secretary of State. Okay, and then was there more than one individual involved in the filing of the reporting company? If that answer is no, then you've only got one. If the answer is yes, then you need to report on that second person. A company applicant, you can have one or max two company applicants that are added or included in a beneficial ownership information report. Okay, either one person or two. Beneficial owners it can be as many, it could be 100. Okay, but company applicants, one or two. That's it. Okay, what information needs to be included for company applicants? It's the same information as beneficial owners. Full legal name, date of birth, complete residential address, unique identifying number, okay, basically their government ID, or that person may have a FinCEN identifier that they can include instead of including all this information on the BOI report. Okay, so let's go to Bob's Plumbing Services. Because Bob's Plumbing Service was formed in 2009, it is not required. Okay, they do not need to include information on their company applicant to FinCEN as part of their BOI report. Okay, but let's go into a hypothetical example. Let's say that Bob did decide, or Bob created a new company, or let's just assume that Bob's Plumbing Service, was actually created in 2024. So in example one, let's say Bob decided to create a new company, RK Enterprises, LLC, DBA, Bob's Plumbing Services. Okay, he filed the documentation with the Secretary of State. No one else was involved in the filing of that. Bob would be the person listed as on the BOI report as the company applicant. Okay. Example two, Bob decided to create a new company. Okay, based on advice from his attorney. Steve created. His attorney, Steve Smith. Steve creates all of the necessary documents, directs Bob to file the documents with the Texas Secretary of State. In that situation, both Bob and Steve would be listed as company applicants for RK Enterprises. Okay, so that's it. So that is everything that you need to know about company applicants. Okay, the next section we're going to go into actually how to file all this information with FinCEN.